Youth, we live in a time of extraordinary challenges and opportunities. Welcome to a new show, Four Corner Youth Show. It's a show that talks more about youth, empowerment, youth engagement with the society, and youth life in general. Kindly don't forget to subscribe, click on the bell so that you can be notified on our next episodes and all our creations. For us youth, actually we live a third of our life in school, getting certificates, diplomas, degrees, and then come again and start looking for job. And I think looking for job is the hardest part that we have. We are living in a community whereby we can see actions that are destroying our own world. And don't forget that in the next 15 years, we'll be directly affected by the changes that will happen: climate change, terrorism, corruption, health matters. All these will still come to haunt us. So it's the best time to start out, to work out on these issues. I believe everybody has a story of hope, a story of achievement, success, and even failures. We mostly forget to listen to people who have failed in life and learn from them. So we'll be bringing these storytellers, will be telling us about their stories so that we can learn and see what other youths are doing, how they are utilizing the opportunities that they get, and how they are solving the problems of their own communities. We youth have got to a point whereby we are not ready to be engaged in political, or let's say in voting, and this is a big issue that is gonna come back and haunt us later. So it's good for youth to be engaged in politics and positive politics and voting, because once you don't vote, that means you're voting for the wrong person. So don't say that you're just at home and you're comfortable and not voting. You went for your daily work, maybe you jumped maybe like 1 hour voting process, but don't forget that you're voting for the wrong person. The person that you don't like him or her to guide you, the person who has no vision, the corrupt person, the person who has nepotism, has tribalism. That's the person that you'll be voting in, because you didn't vote for the right person. You believe and you know, like, democracy is about numbers. So when your number is deducted from the good person that you have trust in, just be pretty sure like the next 5 years will be a hectic. And youth is a great movement, is a great power, and I believe once we are put together in a core value, in a moment whereby we get to learn how other youths are doing, the impact that they have in the community, we will be moving at the best pace and the best way. Okay, so politics revolves around us every time, and once we separate ourselves from politics, then we lose everything, because politics is in agriculture right now, politics is in health, politics is in development, politics is in education. So I believe when making decisions and policies that are being made, it's really crucial for youth to be included in. And that's the key, and that's how we'll build future great leaders who will make our country a big place to live in and a good place to live in. So I believe like most of the, let's say our older people don't like listening to youth, and they say like youth are leaders for tomorrow, but they forget that you need to build and develop this leader today. No leader is born, a leader is created a leader is developed. So I believe developing our youth, motivating them, it's the best way to go. In our schools, high schools, colleges, we say that we are developing leaders. But when these leaders are elected by their own people, they are put in a place whereby it's like a bait. They are silenced either by money or by power. And threats are all over. You have seen student leaders dying like dogs. They die under the bullet of our own government, and nothing happens. So these are some of the things that discourage us as youth even to participate in politics, since it is becoming a really dangerous venture to go in. It is a venture for the powerful people. And I believe that politics is a democracy thing. So you don't have to have money to have someone who is known to have power so that you can venture in politics. Politics is really democratic. We need people with ideas who can lead us. But you see, whenever, let's say for example, we have the 30% allocation for youth in every tender. But how many youth do you see getting the tenders? These old people are using youth so that they can get the tenders. And then the youths who are kept there, they are silenced actually through fear, so that they cannot talk on behalf of our youth. So we'll be talking about a lot of things in our episodes. We'll be bringing people around, young people who are making a big difference in the community. We'll be talking to CEOs in different companies, and everything will be really be surrounded on youth topics only. So we'll be bringing leaders in food security and agriculture, because like I've been looking like in the past years coffee was really booming, but I'm wondering who will be the coffee farmers of tomorrow. Where will you get this coffee from? Do you want it to go into extinction? No. So we'll develop these people today. We'll motivate them today. We'll make sure that there's sanity in agriculture, whereby agriculture is not seen as a job for the jobless. Actually, that's why most of the people are taking agriculture for the jobless. And it should be taken like a profession like any other, because it's really a money-making venture. It is a futuristic opportunity. And I believe that we, the youth, are the future, and we have the power to determine our own future and the future of our generations. Climate is a big issue. When you go around our rivers, all the rivers are drying up. Big rivers are back to some of the, let's say around 10 years, a minimum of around 10. Now, top 10 biggest rivers, they are bottom up to 10. Those are the big rivers. They are drying up. What do we do? What do we do to change our own climate, our own atmospheres? I think youth, we have the power. We have the power to mobilize, to plant trees, to mobilize on clean cities, to mobilize on hygienic industrial processes. And I believe that will curb almost 80% of illnesses and diseases that we have today. In this period of corona pandemic, bet 100% sure there are places whereby there is really no clean water to clean hands. And we know that water is a remedy to coronavirus, reducing the spread. But there are some places whereby it's really an issue. So I believe that we are the same people who are gonna work on that. On education, Our government is working so hard to have 100% transition from primary to secondary schools and from secondary schools to tertiary education. But the main problem is youth are not equipped with skills that are needed in the market today, in the job market. So we are coming up with a quantity basis more than quality basis. Youth don't have skills to start their own businesses. They are just equipped on how to be employed. And once employed, you'll have to take a recap of what you learned, because you surpassed a lot of things. Like, let's say, for example, in engineering, you mean that most of the equipment are not available in schools, and schools don't have programs with companies whereby the students can be going there for practicals. And I think those who should be some of the private-public partnerships that government should come up with to help our students at least gain that experience, get those skills that are much more employable, more than coming out with a lot of theory, which the companies don't need actually. Because if you're given an equipment that you cannot operate, so that means you cannot work on an equipment on theory. You need some experience on it. So that means the company has to invest again to train you, and you are in school for like 5-6 years or 4 years. So that is really a big disadvantage to us. With that disadvantage, we are not able to negotiate for our own salaries. So we are either going through unemployment, or underemployment. So both of them has their own repercussions, and I think that's where government should partner with private entities so that we can come up with sanity in our education. In our health, we have a big issue on that, and I believe that we have many youths who are making a big change in our communities to bring back health sanity. We are overwhelmed by teen pregnancies that is really killing the girls' dreams. And for a girl, or let's say a young mom, to come back into line to their dreams, to their career, to their hopes, it really takes a really strong woman to get back on toes. And I believe when we try to educate them more on that, they can get more stronger, and they can at least we can at least reduce teen pregnancies around the country, which is a menace and a big problem actually. When we come back to hospitals, like the maternity fees, it's a little bit high. You get maybe most of the people don't have access to NHIF, even though it's really fully affordable around. But lack of information is a big issue still. Information for the important issues, because today our media is full of politics. We have a big problem there, and instead of coming up with more information that is helping the nation, you get the corrupt people are more popular than the competent leaders. There are some MPs that even we don't know exist in our country. We don't know even their words, their constituencies, because they have never been on the spotlight of corruption. But once a corrupt leader is named, the following morning you'll see them on the morning talk show, trying to defend themselves as if we are in a courtroom. And they become more popular. So during the next elections, be pretty sure like they'll be the first people to be elected early in the morning. When the competent leaders are back there, they're not popular. We don't even know their developments. They are doing marvelous jobs, but we don't know them because they didn't do anything bad. But that means we are promoting corruption around our country. And I believe that we, the youth, can be the change that we need. We, the youth, can be the new face of our country. The United Nations have put on a plan, a 2030 plan, known as Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. And we believe that they really revolve around humanity, they revolve around us. And we'll be working on them. We'll be showcasing them. We'll be showcasing youth who are making the SDGs possible. And we believe that through the support of showcasing them, they will be known wider. And every problem is an opportunity. And the problems that the United Nations highlighted on SDGs, they are big opportunities that youth need to tap in. And the information is power. Most of the youth doesn't know more about the Sustainable Development Goals. I remember during the engineering club in Meru National Polytechnic, we had a conference whereby we were taken through the Sustainable Development Goals by Engineer Askari Geoffrey from Housing Finance. And I remember most of us actually were not they were not aware of the SDGs. And for me, the first time that I learned about it, I learned it at the Nairobi University Engineering Association, Student Engineering Association conference. That's where I learned for the first time about SDGs, and I got interested in them. And that time I was the chairperson of the engineering club, so I had to bring the same taste to our institution, and at least a number of students got to learn more about it. So I believe that information is the key, and without information you cannot implement the SDGs, since most of the people doesn't know what they need to drive it. We are doing a lot of things towards it, but without the vision, we will a little bit delay its achievement. And I believe that with the information, with the empowerment, we will work towards that. Next episode, we'll be talking more on career, because I believe that career is a key in our education as we learn. I remember going through a post. It was a post. Someone was saying like, the question was, what has delayed you from starting your own business? And there was a post somewhere. So someone said that they are pretending to be okay, financially okay, so that he can make his mother feel like they didn't choose the wrong career. You see? So like, okay, the career whereby the person is at, maybe they are being underpaid, and the parent thinks that, okay, you chose the career, maybe the parent had a different career that he or she could like you to take, but you decide to take another career. And okay, now there are no jobs, and if you get a job, you are underpaid. So the parents doesn't know like every field has a problem on employment and payments. So the person was saying like they are pretending to be okay, financially okay and financially stable, so that they can convince their parents they took the best career. So next episode we'll be talking about career. We'll be talking to different people. We'll be talking more about career, about their own experiences, about their own stories. Maybe if someone made a mistake, they'll still tell us and how they are coping with it. And maybe if they made a mistake, did they get a way to get back to their dream career? You know, let's say for example, you wanted to be a teacher, but you didn't. Maybe you became a banker. But because you like to be a teacher, you later on decide to start your own school. So you are still trying to dream your career and try to come back to the path again at least. So we'll get to learn more. Keep intact, keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your friends so that they can get more of the information. We'll be talking more about youth. Yes, about you who is watching us. Kindly click on the bell so that next episode you'll be the first one to be notified when we upload. We'll be uploading weekly, so don't forget to subscribe, please, for me. Thanks. Bye bye.